Hello everyone. Uh, Hello everyone. So you're welcome to today's training where we're going to be talking about Google responsive display adverts, right? And how to create Google responsive adverts right from Google. So Google is still the platform we're working with, and so a responsive ad is for display is an ad that automatically adjusts its size, appearance, and format to fit available ad spaces on the Google Display Network. So the thing that happens is that because of the various kinds of banners, right, that are placed on the Google network. I mean, because Google works with so many different kinds of blogs, so many different kinds of websites. You have YouTube, you have different kinds of banner ads and banner sizes. I mean, imagine platforms like Punch, like Vanguard, like Meta Engaging. So many different kinds of partners that so many different kinds of websites that are partnered with Google, right? So they all make up the Google Display Network. And so what we are saying is that all these partners, I mean, they have different um, sizes for their banners, for their advertising banners, right? Because they are partners with AdSense, all right? So they have different sizes, appearances, and formats for the kinds of display banners that you can place on their website. So with responsive display adverts, you don't have to be thinking about the various the various sizes and appearances. You can just easily create a an advert in minutes, and automatically Google does all the resizing and all those things for you. So rather than using the old display method, in this training we are focusing more on the responsive method, which is using Google responsive display ads to create Google adverts, right? So, and it's quite similar to the process of the Google discovery ad creation. So, I mean, if you've gone through that model, you're going to find this model kind of similar and kind of easier. So in the past, I mean, normally if you're creating a display ad, and these are more or less like the basic sizes for creating an advert. You have 240 by 400. You have the mobile leaderboard 320 by 50. You have the normal banner. So the idea is that, I mean, the one that we always recommend is 300 by 250, which is the inline rectangle, which is what most businesses use for their Google display adverts. But imagine now having a graphic designer, and the graphic designer is creating two or three banners with all these different sizes. Creating for leaderboard, creating for square. So it's just not practical. It's not just practical, and it's not just reasonable most times. So most of the times, most businesses just end up creating like one or two of these sizes, and they miss out on so much quality traffic because of that. So we don't necessarily do display adverts anymore. We just focus on responsive ads because with responsive ads you can create all these sizes in minutes, and you don't have to really stress your graphic designer to do that. So these are just basic examples of the Google responsive ads. Like you can see, you have the image, the basic image, you have the headline, you have the description, and you have the logo, right? And that's the name of the company, right? Their business name. And the same thing, you have the headline, the image, the name of the company, call to action, right? So, same thing here, you have the headline, the description, call to action, sometimes logos there, and things like that. So, that's just basically how um, a responsive advert works. So, for further reading, you can go to this website to get more information on responsive ads. So, we're just going to go over um, to the Google dashboard, and we would create our responsive advert. So we just click on this plus sign, click on create a new campaign. All right. So we are going to select leads, just like we explained in the discovery section, discovery ads section. That we don't work with any of all these ones. What we want to work with is conversions, which is we want Google to optimize our campaign based on the amount of leads and conversions we are generating. So that's why we usually work with leads. So we click leads. If you're an e-commerce store, if let's say you're running an e-commerce store where you can track payments, most people will go for sales, but because this training is more for real estate businesses and things like that. So it's no one is going to pay for a house really over online. I mean, they're not going to send the payments for a house through Paystack. You get what I'm saying? So most of the times they will just drop their details, and then the sales team will follow up with them, and they end up paying at the end of the day. So you want to select leads, and then you want to select display, right? And so you have options of the kind of campaign you want to do. So you have Gmail campaign. So there's no real need for Gmail campaign anymore because you have the discovery ads which targets Gmail as well, and those gives you more reach. Yeah, because with the discovery ads you would still reach Gmail, you will reach YouTube, and you reach the discovery feed. So we don't do Gmail anymore. And you have the standard display campaign where you are the one that would select your settings and the targeting, and you have some automation options, and then you have the smart um, display campaign, which more or less improves performance with simplified ad targeting and management. So for the sake of this, we're just going to go ahead to All right, so what is really important to note about the difference between the smart display campaign and the standard display campaign is that the smart display campaign, you will really have no control over the targeting because it's just automated. And you can't really say, okay, I want Google to target this specific kind of person, this specific group of people. It's just automated based on your landing page and the offers that you have. So I don't really want to do that. I want to advise you to do that. I think the standard display campaign is where you want to work with because then you have control over your targeting and who you are reaching out to. So you click on continue. Okay, so now we are in our campaign name. So I'm just going to name this. So like I always tell you that I want the campaign name to be named based on the um, projects that I'm working on. So for here, we're actually advertising for an urban prime home project. And then by the side, I will just put the name of the kind of advert I'm running. So if it's a discovery ad, I would put discovery ad one. If it's a responsive ad, I'll put responsive ad one. So I'm just going to put responsive here. Just remove that ADD. Under location, you can go ahead to select the location that you want to advertise to. In this case, we want to advertise to 4 locations. So that's Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Ibadan. So I'll just go ahead to include those places. So that's Lagos. Yeah, so you can always search for any location in the world. I mean, whether it's in UK, Nigeria, Dubai, London, US, you can target anyone anywhere. It's just to put the locations necessary, right? And then next thing I'm going to do is set my target cost per action. So so based on your bidding, right, there are basically two options available for you, right? So you can either set this as a target cost per action. That means Google will not spend more than a certain amount. So let's say um, if I put this at $2, it means Google will not spend more than $2 to acquire one lead for me, right? But how do you know that this is the right amount to use? So I don't use this until I have some information, some data, right? Until I have that data, then I can set my target cost per action. So what you just want to do is just leave it as maximize conversion speed strategy. And so what will happen is that Google will automatically be maximizing the budget until you have enough data, and then you can set your target cost per action. All right. So then you want to put your daily budget. And your daily budget, for this, you just know the amount of money you want to spend on Google, right? And divide that by 30. Let's say you want to spend $150 on Google, right? Just divide that by 30, that gives you 5. So that's your daily budget for Google. Now we are done with the setup of the campaign. So we're going straight into the ad group name. So this is more like the audience. So this is where we set up for the buyers, right? So if you have a customer avatar, you can include the customer avatar's name here, right? Because this is where you're actually going to do everything you can do to reach out to that person, to the right customer avatar. So here I'm just going to put urban buyer one. Okay. Now you come down to where the audience is. This is where you select your audiences, right? So you can actually go ahead to search for things that your audience might be interested in. So someone who's interested in buying a house, buying a property, you can include that in your search term here. But before we do that, I want to head over to browse, and here we can actually select some information based on the data that is available. So first of all, you have demographics, who they are. So you can actually target people based on their parental status. Are they parents or are they not parents? I don't think that information is important to us. So I can also target homeowners or people who rent houses. So I can say that maybe people who are renting a house might be interested in buying a home, or people who are homeowners. Based on their status, you can target people. Right. I like those two targeting options, so I'll leave that. And then affinity audience is based on what people are interested in and what the habits that people have. I really don't like using affinity except for rare occasions because Google is not the same as Facebook. So someone that might just mistakenly landed on a page because they're searching for something, Google will capture that person is has an interest for that thing. And maybe the person had interest for it like 2002, and now it's 2020. But Google will still have that information. So it's not really a, a primary good source of targeting. But what you want to do is in market and live events. So I usually use this. This one works better for your targeting. So you select in market audiences. So I can just select in market audiences, and then I can scroll down to real estate and see. So you have real estate. So I can select that. Can also click on the drop down and see for people who are interested in commercial, residential, moving and location. Yeah, and can also look for other things that people are interested in. Another thing you can do is select travel. Sorry, life events. So under life events, you have people who, excuse me, seems not to be clicking. You need to scroll down. So you have people who have certain things that are happening. So let's say people who are moving from one place to another, moving soon or recently moved. I like that. I like people who just purchased a home. Sorry, people who are purchasing a home soon that they've said that they are going to purchase a house. I want them as well. And yeah, okay. So I mean, you can play around this targeting options and see which one really works best for you as a business and for your real estate business. Depending on what you are doing, if you're an estate surveyor, you can go around Google and see which of the targeting options works best for you. So once you're done, you click on done. That's all. And then what's going to happen is that on the right, you're going to see the amount of people you can reach in terms of your impressions for your budget, and then you see the amount of clicks you can get for your daily budget. So it's telling us that we can get about 1,200 clicks for our daily budget of $5, which is not bad at all. 9,200 clicks is quite good. And so you come down to demographics, and then I want to unselect 18 to 24 because I'm advertising real estate properties. I don't think they will be able to afford um, that amount of properties. But yeah, so I'll select that and I click done. Then okay, so now we are here to the creation of the adverts, right? And so let's pause this. Okay, so you see our URL is already here. So this is the URL for our landing page, right? Landing page is where the people who buy, um, the people who click on the advert, this is where it's going to take them to. So it's the landing page, right? So we've created a landing page where they can come, fill their name, details from them. I will show you how to build a landing page, much better landing page than this, of course, right? And yeah, so once you put your landing page, then you go up to put your images and your logos. So very similar to what we did in the Google Discovery ads. We're just going to do the same thing here again. And we're going to add our images and logos. So I'm just going to click on images and logo. Okay, so it's searching my website. So I don't want it to search my website. It's okay. So I'll just click on upload and then select the images I want to upload. Right. Like I said, similar to what we did with the Google Discovery adverts. Sorry about that. So select the files. Alright. So I'll just scroll down to where my images are and upload. Just upload them. Okay. So I'm just gonna upload this, upload this, upload this, upload this. Yeah, I think that's okay. I've already uploaded my logo. So as well, you also have to upload your logo um from your from your laptop. And your logo should be at least 150 by 150 in dimensions, and it should be square. Right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click on use image. Yeah, I'm gonna select the dimensions. Right. So there's no 4 by 3 in this, but it's just this two. So I'm just gonna do this. Select two ratios. Make sure that it's images, not logo. Right. Do the same thing. Make sure it's image, not logo. Select two ratios. Um, Make sure it's image, not logo. Select two ratios. Right. So that's okay. And then once that's selected, I'm just going to click on recently used. Because we have more images there. Because it's the same images we used for the Google Discovery ad. So you can see that once you've set up a Google Discovery ad, it's actually easy for you to set up a responsive display of ad because they just both of them they flow together, right? And you don't have to keep uploading images. You just go to your recently used tab, right? And then you just select the images from your recently used. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select my logo. Yeah, that's okay. So make sure it's logo. Uh, okay. Select. Select. Right. For some reasons, we're not able to add them. If you click save, right? I think they're yet to select the logo. Next, we're going to send up headline. Hello? Hello? Yeah, Maro. Yeah. So I'm just gonna place the headlines. Uh, okay. So the thing about responsive adverts is that it's actually 30, not 40, right? So yeah, of course, I might have to remove some of these things to make it fit. So just yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead to paste all of them. So you can see it's the minimum is the maximum is 30, not for discovery ads is 40, but for responsive adverts it's actually 30. So you make sure that it's at 30. So I'm just gonna copy. Okay. So once you're done with the headline, everything is just going to show. Um, Once you're done with the headline, everything is just going to show once on the page, right? So, like just like the discovery adverts, it's just going to be interchanging. It's going to be interchanging between the best adverts, the ones to show best, and the ones not to show, right? And so, let me say that it seems like the preview is still coming up. Okay, so what as you can see over here, you can see that the display ads are actually beginning to pop up and show the different sizes and all of that, and everything is looking okay. So the next thing we want to do is put the long. So there's usually a long headline, which is about 90 characters, right? So I'm just going to use this. I use this total. This is now selling for 904. You know, so I'm just going to put that here. Then other description, I'm going to put five descriptions. So this is still the same 90 characters, right? So we'll just paste what we have here. Sorry. Then business name. Of course, we put our business name there, restaurant.com. And so you click on more options to bring us the place for the call to action text. Um, then, oops, sorry. It seems to have added by itself. So I'm just going to click on it to edit it again. Okay, so now we're going to click on more options and we will select the call to action. You can also select the custom colors that you want. So maybe you want the colors to marry your brand colors, but for us that's not so necessary. So you just click on call to action and then for me I'll just select contact us. Right. URL options, additional formats options, those are okay. You don't need to do much with those. So that's it basically. So you can see that um, it's showing how the adverts are going to pop up, different ads. Wondering why it's showing these images. Strange. Okay, so those are for videos, right? Let me see for and so if you also have videos, you can also add your videos to the properties so that you can see how it works. But for us, we just more or less use pictures. Yeah. So these are pictures. As you can see them scrolling from side to side. So this is how it's probably gonna pop out on. Uh, this is how it's gonna pop out on online, right? So people sit on their phones, people sit on their desktops and things like that of those nature. So that's a responsive advert. So once you're done, you can go ahead and click on create campaign, and then the campaign will be created. And uh, yeah, so you can go ahead to create as many responsive adverts as you would like to create, for your business, for your real estate business, and really expand. So those are the two major forms of uh, in terms of when you're talking of banners, you have discovery adverts, and then you also have display adverts, right? And so both of them are a mixture of banner and text because there's some text there and there's some banners there. So you can go ahead and play with those two, work on them, and of course start getting results for your real estate business, start generating leads for your real estate business. So we'll see in the next video where we'll be talking more about Google. Take care and